Now this next step is pretty simple, but you have to finish fine-tuning here before you move to the next step, because the next step is going to obliterate any possibility of changing anything below it. Well, unless you destroy the next step and throw it in the trash and make some changes. That's one reason the next step is important. The next reason this next step is important is because the shortcut I'm going to show you is not in any hamburger menu. It's not in a flyout menu. It's not in a right click. It's not up here in the menu. It is not even documented anywhere. Why would Adobe do that? I don't get it. But watch over here. If I hold Option or Shift, Option, Command, N to make a new layer and then hit E, I merge everything below it. Look, I'm going to turn off all these layers. And I can see everything. Shift, okay, I'm going to do that again. I want you to take notes because I want you to know this for the rest of the year. When I come up to you and say, make an everything layer, I want you to be able to do this because you're going to do this 100 times, 200 times, who knows? You're going to do this all the time. I'm using my left hand. Shift, Option, Command. I hold down those three keys and then tap N, which gives me a new layer. Shift, Option, Command, N gives you a new layer. I'm going to hit Delete because I don't want two new layers. And then Shift, Option, Command, E. E for everything. Merges all visible layers onto one layer. And Photoshop actually calls this Stamp Visible. This is the History panel. Window History. If I click on History, you're going to see the last thing I did is Stamp Visible. History's great because I can go back in time. I can click back here. And we're all the way back to where we started with that very first smart object. What are we going to do here? Come back down here, Stamp Visible. You move through history. This is better than undo. History is magical. All right, so done with history. What we want to do here is make this a smart object. Okay? Create, convert to smart object. I don't do that. I'm going to show you this shortcut. You know, eventually, Shift, Option, Command, O for object. Okay? I'm going to undo that because I don't want to make it twice. I actually have no idea what that's going to do. But I'm going to show you how to make that shortcut. But for now, I'm going to hit Command Z to get rid of that. You just right-click, not on the name. If you right-click on the name, you get something. Well, no, you don't. Convert to Smart Object. There you go. I don't know. I don't do that. I use the shortcuts. Now, once we have this short object, we can go back to Camera Raw. And I already showed you how to get to Camera Raw. You can figure it out. I'm going to use my keyboard shortcuts because I want you to want to learn how to use your keyboard shortcuts. Now, what I want to do is I want to add contrast. At this point, remember when I clicked on Auto and it didn't work? At this point, Auto should do something cool. I don't know. We'll see here because every one of these is different. Yeah. If I hit the letter P, that's before, that's after. It added a little bit of oomph, okay, a little bit of contrast. I'm going to come over here to the effects layer and go straight down to the vignette because the idea is I want to make this darker on the outside and lighter on the inside. It didn't change the inside. And if I hit P, before, after. It's a trick that artists use. A vignette keeps your eye inside. Your eye doesn't leave because it's darker on the outside. Now, this is not perfect. This is overdone, but I don't want to take a lot of time with this. And I may just add a little more grain just to bring these layers together. We have the most grain out here, then here, then here. And then back here, we can do all kinds of adjustments. And I want to encourage you to do that, but I don't want to take a million years here in these videos. This is, gone on for a long time, but there are serious skills you're going to use the rest of this year. No, you're not going to be doing stuff like this all year long, but you are going to be using smart objects, camera raw filter, layer styles. You're going to be using a lot more things than that. Non-destructive editing that we can come back again and again and continue to modify. That is one of the real strengths of what we're doing here. So have fun with this, continue to experiment, and in one last video, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you a secret, okay? When I showed this to the Photoshop, the guy who runs, he's the head of the Photoshop development team, and I showed him this, and he went, "That's not why we designed that." But it's pretty cool. And users often come up with uses for the tools that even the developers didn't anticipate. Let's come back and I'll share that with you.